Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're listening to the podcast Capturing Magic. I'm Bill Rogers, the voice of Disney. Thanks very much for listening.
Hey everyone, welcome to Capturing Magic. I am Steph Clay, and I am here today with Tanya Hickman, who can be found at everymagicmoment.com. Hi, Tanya.
Hi. Oh, come on. Hi.
And we're also here with Heather Winfield, who can be found at heatherw.com/character. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
Alrighty. This show, we are talking about food photo tips for Disney World. Restaurants and locations and things you might want to know if you're headed to Disney World and you're going to be taking photos of and with and in food places. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Heather.
Yep. Yes.
Do you have some tips for us?
Wow, where to even begin? when you do a Disney World trip,
I
think that's such a
broad
huge part of it. And it's I remember my first Disney World trip, and it was like, if you don't have reservations, you're gonna starve. And so like it's I don't know, it's just such a built-in thing. But I don't even know where to start. I guess you're talking about like the restaurants that are good for photos.
Well,
I would think that what we're going to talk about. Or
yeah, for an example, one of the things that I was thinking of is when and I'm pulling up a list of the restaurants because now all of a sudden I'm blanking on every one of the restaurant names right here. In Disneyland, we call it the Lady and the Tramp restaurant. What's its official name? Yeah, see.
At Disneyland?
Disney World, sorry. Disney World.
Tony's?
Yes, yeah, Tony's. So in the area where you're waiting for them to call you back, it's a great spot for a photo. But then also once you get inside, you want to make sure that you get a photo at the fountain with Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, and then not eat the food. It's not good.
I don't think it's horrible. I guess maybe I'm not that picky. I don't know, but
Heather is a very picky eater. She has very high expectations of her food. Just saying.
It must be. It must be because, yeah. I don't think it's horrible. We do pizza.
It's not horrible, but it's just like it's fine. So like when I go to like Disney or Disneyland, like I like to eat if I can somewhere that I can't, not that I can't get somewhere else, or like is a lot better than what I can get at home.
Yeah.
So I live in New Jersey, so we have a lot of good Italian food here. It's like you can't trip without that. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to.
Another issue is always the quality of the food for the price you're paying.
Well, yeah, but you can't. I mean, that's just.
I can't even think about that because that's just everything.
Yeah, because the reality is you're always going to pay more.
True.
For the quality than what the quality is, and I mean, we do. So yeah, at Tony's we do pizza usually, and we have not been disappointed with the pizza. The pizza's good. So there you have it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's just not like I think they could get a much better food place like in that spot, because it's such a great spot. Like you said, like you can go and you can see like the parade from there if you're sitting outside on the so it's just, I feel like it could be better.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry to like completely
Debbie Downer. There she goes.
My big memory from there is because like I don't drink soda, and I drink pretty much at the parks like lemonade, but they didn't have the lemonade I liked. So when we were waiting for our food, I went over to Starbucks and got something to drink and came back and drank the Starbucks. For some reason, I always remember that. So here's a tip: go to Starbucks. There's a tip. If you don't like what they have to drink, go to Starbucks and then come back.
Back on top, Heather. Get back on topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I think like almost every Disney World one especially has something that you can photograph. I mean, I guess Be Our Guest would be, I think, the best photograph-wise.
Yeah.
If you don't want me to be negative about anything else there, I won't. But
Yeah,
the
we're
restaurant
just talking about photos.
the restaurant itself, like inside, I think is definitely. I mean, I wish they kind of had when they first opened up. I remember they had like a tour, like you could go in and just see it, and that was it. But like now, you have breakfast, lunch, dinner, but you have to get in there at some point. So it's just, I mean, you have like the mosaic with Belle and the Prince and the Rose. That's iconic. So that's when you're in the waiting area there, and the ceiling with the chandeliers. I mean, the ballroom. I mean, everything is so well done. I think that's one of the best restaurant-wise theming in Disney World.
I agree. And I think you want to make sure that you get a photo before you go across the bridge underneath the sign. And then if you can, I mean, not even if you can, absolutely stop at the main entrance and get a photo with the gargoyles and all of that good stuff there.
Yeah, and it's hard too because you can have people there, and I don't know, I hate asking, but you're fine with it. You're like, get out of my way.
No, I'm not rude. I'm nice. I'll stand and wait is what I do. I'll just stand and wait because they're going to leave eventually. So I'll stand and wait.
I mean, even like on the table when you go, because each meal is different of how things work. But for the dinner, they have, the rose napkin.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take a picture of your table even before you eat. I mean, I do that anyway, but
yeah,
especially there. And I haven't been there since they did that, but I'm assuming they still do the thing where you have like a candelabra, like Lumiere, that's how they walk you to the table. I've never done it when I've done it, but apparently they started like right after. So that I think is the thing you need to take a picture of.
Yeah.
And even they have 3 rooms. You have, the ballroom and the rose room and the west wing. And no matter where you're sitting, like when you're done, you go to the other places and take pictures. So don't worry about that.
Yes.
Just go and take them. And it's probably easier because at least when I've gone, like at lunch, because you can go anywhere you want to sit, and breakfast is the same thing. So maybe it's easier then, but either way, I've done that, and everybody else is doing it, so it's fine.
Yeah, they actually, when I've gone in before, they've said make sure you take time to go look at the other rooms while you're here, which is nice because there are the different rooms and there's lots to look at in each of them. So yeah, take photos. And in Christmas time, when we were at Be Our Guest, I also made my kids pose in front of a Christmas tree by a window with the snow falling in the background.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really decorate that well because they have the ornaments from what was the sequel, the Belle's Enchanted Christmas thing. So yeah, so they have a lot of that in the decoration. So it's really well done.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of close-up pictures of those like ornaments and the Angeline on the right. She's on the top. It's been a couple years since I did Christmas there, but yeah.
Yeah, another one that I was thinking of, one of my favorite ones that came to my mind was the Hoop-de-Doo musical review. Have you done that?
Yeah,
I love it.
It's been a while actually since I've done that one. That was the same time when I did the Cinderella's Royal Table. It was 2009.
That was a good year.
A lot of these things. Yeah,
that was a good year for you.
That was my I went on my birthday.
Oh, okay.
So I did all these things, and then on my birthday I got sick. So it was a couple of days, like day or so before, and then I was still sick on my birthday. So I need to go back on my birthday.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I know. So I went off topic there, but yeah, that's why I did a lot of those kinds of things. It was the first time we stayed in a deluxe resort.
Oh, fun. Fun. Okay, so at Hoop-de-Doo Musical Review, they have a photo spot outside actually with a PhotoPass photographer, and you do a photo with your group before you go in, which is awesome. And that's included with Memory Maker, I am fairly certain.
Yes.
Yeah. And then
No, I was just gonna say it's like when you go to a character meal and like
Yeah.
you get a character. It's like you don't get a picture of the character, but that's your thing there.
Yes. And then inside, there's I took lots and lots of photos before as they were seating people, and I'm really, really glad that I did that because there's no time, any other time to get photos. So you'll want to, as they're seating other people, hurry and get a photo of your group at your table. And then once they start the show, the lights dim down too. So you'll want to do that. And then throughout the whole show, there are great photo ops and video too. If you want to do some great video ops in there as well.
And if you're closer, like to the stage, then you could probably get more, photos because like they might be with you, so you can get pictures like with them, like when they come down and perform.
Yes, it's a very interactive show. How's that? Good way to put that.
They also have the Tanya would like. They have fried chicken there.
Woo woo.
Their fried chicken is not as good as Disneyland.
No.
Oh, then no.
There's the strawberry shortcake though. That's good.
Yeah, it's good. Really good. And their food's good though. My kids loved that show and dinner, and they still talk about it 2 years later. They loved it. So.
It's a very what's the word I'm thinking of? Like very old school Disney. Like when I was 5, like my mom tried to get reservations there and we couldn't get it, and it's still there. So it's like one of those few things that it's probably something I think a lot of people do as like a tradition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really good show. I mean, I remember I asked them several times, what was your favorite thing? And they were like, the Hoop-de-Doo musical review was their favorite thing. They mentioned it a lot. So it's more expensive, but totally worth it, I think.
I will say if you're there like around Christmas, then after you do that, you should go around and look at the decorations that people put up. They have their campers, and that's really fun.
Yeah, in the campground there, everybody around Christmas time, people that are staying there decorate and put tons of lights and fun stuff out. And they even have sleigh rides that you can, not real sleighs, but they look like sleighs. Because I learned the difference between a carriage and a sleigh. And so it's really a carriage that they've decorated to look like a sleigh that the horse pulls around. And it's a lot of fun. We did that too that same year, actually. I surprised my kids with that. So that was fun. Liberty Tree Tavern.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, it's a great photo op in the waiting area with the fireplace and all of that stuff. It's a really great photo op in there. So be sure to snap a photo before you go sit at your table.
I'm really sad I never went there when it was the character meal because they were colonial themed, and I'm like I live near Philadelphia, so like I love that time period, and yeah, that closed like early. I mean, they changed it from a character meal like early in my character hunting days.
Yeah,
I regret.
I have that same regret actually.
But I mean, there's a lot to photograph in that restaurant.
Yeah, yes.
Especially like I said, if you like that time period.
Yes, you can get group shots probably at your table with great backgrounds because there's lots of tchotchkes and shelves with tchotchkes on them, and it's cute. There's lots of fun stuff in there.
And the mugs they have. I'm assuming they still have the same mugs. And we actually bought one, and like I rarely do that. We actually bought one of the mugs because they were really fun. They
are fun. One of my kids got that as their souvenir. It's one of their souvenirs. Yeah, that's totally funny. Okay, another one. Let's see.
I like Sanaa.
Yeah.
You've been there?
I have been there.
And I mean, especially if you sit, I mean, first of all, the restaurant stuff, I think anywhere in the Animal Kingdom Lodge restaurants are great. I mean, or even just not even the restaurants, just Animal Kingdom Lodge, period. But, the restaurant, they have a lot of stuff to take pictures of. But then if you sit near a window, you can, like, so many animals are there and you could get, like, really great pictures.
We did not see any animals when we were eating there.
Oh, really?
Just to set expectations so that people aren't disappointed. But
For a change, I had something good.
You did. You did. You did. Brown Derby. In the waiting area of the Brown Derby, be sure to get a photo in there with all of those pictures on the wall and everything.
I didn't have this on my list, but thinking of the Animal Kingdom Lodge, it reminded me. Tiffin's, it just opened.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
That is another one of those, you could take pictures of everything. I mean, when you first walk in, they have behind the desk, they have a map and of the world, but then they have where all the Disney parks are, they have little castles. So that's something to have to take pictures of. But then every room is themed differently. And it's, you have the room, and it's things that inspired the Animal Kingdom.
Oh,
so, like when they went to different places, and just so much stuff. I mean, there's like a prop from the Rivers of Light, which still hasn't opened, but eventually, apparently it will. So, I mean, that's there, but there's just so much there, and it's just like with Be Our Guest, that even if you're not seated in another room, like you can go to another room. I was there for lunch one time, and the other rooms weren't even open, and I said, can I go? And so they took me into the room so that I could take pictures. So and then they have a lounge, a Nomad Lounge, which is really good. It's like my favorite lounge, and there's lots to photograph in there. They have different things hanging from from when you traveled, and then they give you something you could write on their things, and then they put them up around the bar. And the menus, I mean, they're the most decorated menus like you'll ever see. They have pictures and drawings and all these things from like when they were planning the Animal Kingdom. So it's Joe Rohde has, hand in this whole thing. So it's good.
That sounds really fun.
It is. And the food is fantastic. I had lunch and dinner there. I recommend it.
So it's going to be good if Heather likes it.
Stamp of approval.
It's going to be good. That's great. Okay. Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater is one of my favorite themed restaurants. And it has been since I was a kid, since I was a teenager.
I didn't go there until Tanya's trip there, and that was the first time I went.
It was on my list. I was like, I want to eat there.
Yeah.
It was always one of those places that you saw in like the travel videos.
Yes.
And I was obsessed with it. Like, I'm sure people were over it by that point, but I was like, I want to eat there.
And I'm so glad we did, because I wouldn't have, because I had never heard anything good about the food, so I never thought to go there. And then we went, and it was good. And I've had a good meal there like anytime I've gone.
Yeah.
But it's just so fun inside there.
It's nice to escape the Florida heat and like just sit in that dark, dank room for an hour. Totally
it's hard. It's hard to get the pictures in there because it's dark. So
it's really dark.
When we had the other show about with the lighting with the food and stuff, like that's a hard one.
Yeah, that is true. It is hard. Yeah, and so low lighting, you need to make sure that you're set up for getting low light shots. Or I guess be brave and use your flash. Try it, but it's not recommended.
Don't recommend it.
No.
But you have to get a picture like sitting in the car.
Yeah, you kind of have to use a flash for that one.
You do. Unless you can, I mean, the iPhone 7 Plus, I bet you could get a good photo in there without your flash.
Possibly, yeah.
Just saying. Okay. I'm trying to think. Some of my other favorite restaurants. 50s Prime Time.
See, I want to go. Like, I've walked in there because I've been
You won't go? I don't want to get yelled at.
Yeah, she
That's
won't.
not my type of fun.
I would love to see her sit for an hour meal and not touch her phone. Like, it would be awesome.
Funny.
So, like, they yell at you if you don't finish your food. Like, I never finish.
She never finishes her food. I don't really ever finish my food either. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, like
I know people have told me that, like, if you say like you don't want that whole thing, they won't. But I still don't want to chance it.
Yeah, I think they do a really good job. So for people that may have never eaten there before or don't know what we're talking about, the 50s Primetime Cafe in Hollywood Studios is themed kind of like a mom's house in the 50s, and the waiters and waitresses play the role of the mom or the dad and the grandma or the kids and cousins. Yeah, cousins. That's what I'm trying to say. Aunts and uncles, that kind of a thing. And they treat you as such. And so they sometimes will get after you for not eating. And my kids, the very first time we went, they told one of them that they were going to have to wash the dishes, and that was it. Like, they hate that restaurant and they will not go back. But I love it. I think it's fun, and they do a really good job, I think, of gauging and kind of testing the waters to see if you're going to be fun and play with them or not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen video of people that they have to get up and like sing and what, like, as a punishment for like, no.
That's not going to happen, people.
No, and I've never had anything like that. In fact, the last time we went, my kids were so not having any of it. I made them go. They hate it. They were not happy about it. And so I think that they sensed it, and they could tell, and they hardly harassed us at all. But it was fun still. And I think the food is good.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, if I didn't have to worry about that, I'd definitely go there because it looks really cute. Because it's right next door to the Hollywood and Vine, so I've been in there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it looks like a fun, like 50s hometown, homes, you know what I mean? So, it looks someday if I'm like, you're not yelling at me.
Yeah, it's kind of like Leave It to Beaver. I mean, it totally is like you're walking onto the set of Leave It to Beaver. It feels like to me. So yeah, and the desserts, they're my favorite. The desserts are the best.
See, and then if Heather doesn't finish her food, they won't let her have dessert, and then she'd be all sad. Finish those green beans, Heather.
That's funny. Yeah.
Speaking of dessert, I like Beaches and Cream. That's a fun one.
That is a really fun one. That's over in the boardwalk?
That's at the Beach Club. It's a beach club.
Yeah. It's really, I love to go to that restaurant for lunch when we're at Epcot. Because you can walk to it really easily, and it's a very inexpensive lunch.
It's really good, too.
It is
actually
good.
When we went there, I mean, granted, I was probably starving because Heather made us wait to eat until we got there.
Everything always me.
We always. Well, to be fair, we had a pretty hectic schedule, so we didn't get a chance to eat. I won't blame it on her completely, but we didn't get a chance to eat until dinner time when we went to Beaches and Cream. And I just got a plain cheeseburger, and it was literally one of the best cheeseburgers I've ever had. It was really good. But again, I don't know if it's because I was starving or if it was really that good. But it was good. I remember liking that place a lot.
I remember we got our food really quickly, too, because I got up to start taking pictures, and then the food came.
Yeah.
I had to get back. Yeah. But that's another, that same kind of style, old style.
Yeah, and it's really, really cute in there.
Ice cream shop, yeah.
Alrighty. Going down the list. What about Epcot?
Epcot, I feel like everything.
I know, it kind of is, huh?
What I put on my list is World Showcase. It's almost everything.
The whole thing. Just take pictures of the whole thing, people.
Yeah. I mean, I like getting, a lot of snacks there. So, there was on the other show I mentioned about the ice cream macaroon sandwich. I could live on that. I'm sorry. That is the best thing. So, that's a thing I always post pictures of on Instagram. So I always like to take a picture of that. You could take it with the ice cream place in the background, or you have the the Eiffel Tower, all that. You have those slushies. I know Tanya got that when she was out here, and you can.
Kabuki,
I like
at the Kabuki? Or is that what
that's in Japan. No, in
Okay.
France.
Oh, no,
okay.
we're talking alcohol.
Oh, okay, then yeah, I don't know. Sorry. That's all you have to say for me to know that I really should not try it and act like I know what I'm talking about.
Pretty much anything like that, like the drink, or like what you were saying, that one. Like I like taking it with the like World Showcase, the Lagoon, like all that stuff. Like you can do that in the background, depending on what it is, or you could have it with the country behind it. And I think that's one of my favorite things too, because there's so many snacks and just everything. Like when you have food and wine there too, the same kind of thing. You could have that. Like if you get something at the France booth, and then you could have, France and Eiffel Tower behind it. But I also always like to take the picture of the food with the booth behind it, so you have the country name. And
every country in the World Showcase has a super photogenic restaurant. Like they all do. Like you could take 100 pictures at every single one of those restaurants.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking Le Cellier. I love taking pictures outside of Le Cellier. It's super dark inside, and it's not as photogenic inside, but outside it's beautiful.
That garden.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's themed after Bouchard Gardens for people that are familiar with Vancouver, Canada, Victoria, Canada. So
yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah.
And you see bunnies there. It's bunnies running around that garden.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other ones that jump out. Rose and Crown has some okay photo places. It's I would rank it lower than Liberty Tree Tavern, but the cool thing about Rose and Crown is if you get a spot in the evening where you can watch illuminations, then you have a great photo spot.
Yeah.
Really great photo spot.
Like I've never eaten at the Spice. I don't remember the name of it. The
Spice Road.
The Moroccan, Spice Road. Like you never see anybody there. But if you were there for illuminations, like that would be a good spot.
Yeah.
There's several. Like they keep adding that different restaurants around. That if you have that good view, that good spot, like that's good.
It's smart for them to be adding them. I think.
Yeah, makes people want to eat at those places during that time.
Yes. Yeah.
The restaurant in Mexico is San Angel
Inn. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've never eaten there, but like I've been in the Mexican Pavilion, and that looks like a very photogenic restaurant.
It does, huh? Because it's themed so that it looks like it's at night, and it looks really cool.
I mean, you go through there when you're on the ride.
Yes.
So like you do that too, but like if you eat, like even just looking at it looks nice. I have to eat there sometime.
Yeah, it's easy to miss though, I think. So how you get to it, for those that don't know, is the Mayan pyramid that's outside. You go inside there, and that's where the whole marketplace is, and the ride, and then that really cool looking restaurant. Night themed restaurant. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Are those all of your favorites?
Let me look at my list. I'm still like mentally going through all the World Showcase food and getting hungry.
I know, right? Yeah, this is so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are all the ones that are on my list. I'm still kind of just trying to think if there was anywhere else. I mean, I like, Yak and Yeti.
I was thinking
I was going to say that was my favorite restaurant we ate at the entire time I was at Disney World.
So,
yeah, I mean, I love the food, but I also love...
Yeah, it's really pretty.
There's so much to photograph in there. When they used to have the parade, you could even see the parade if you were sitting like by a window. But there's no parade anymore. But, it's just... It doesn't matter like where you are in the restaurant either. There's always something.
I love the lights and stuff in there. I even took pictures in the bathroom when we were there. Because there's really pretty lighting in the bathrooms too. I loved that restaurant.
Even the counter service, I think, has some great photo opportunities. The Yak and Yeti counter service, which that is my family. I think it might even be their favorite place to eat in all of Disney World.
Yeah,
Yak and Yeti counter service. Yeah,
Yak and Yeti. I love that.
So funny.
The name. I just like the name.
It's a good name. It's good themed. I have a list of like restaurants with good photo ops, but they might be different from my restaurants with good food.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
But these are fun photo ops, I think. Okay.
See, it's not just me places that there's places that aren't good food.
Yeah, but I love the theming and I love the photo ops and all of that.
Yeah,
stuff,
a lot of the times I can handle like the food being mediocre if I have something to look at. Like,
if it's good theming, I'm all about it.
Then I like being there.
Yeah, me too.
It makes the food better, I feel.
Yeah, me too. So, okay. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I'm still like trying to go through different places because there's so many. There's
so many
at the resorts and everything. So I'm probably forgetting something obvious, but I think those are the ones that I could.
I guess we didn't hit the resorts all that much, and there's probably even more there. Maybe we should do a different show just for
the resorts.
Really, you could do a show for almost each park, and then we could do another one for the resorts and Disney Springs.
Oh yeah, Disney Springs. We didn't even touch on that. I love Morimoto's. I love Morimoto's, like everything about it, and they have like a chandelier or the lighting. I mean, it's so gorgeous. You take like a ton of pictures of that.
I haven't been there yet, but
really
I know
good.
you love it, and I know you love the food there too.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've gone there like every trip since it's opened. I tried to go last trip, and someone had like rented the place out, and they went all the way down there for that. I was all bummed.
Rude. That's rude. The nerve of people.
No. And I always like another thing. I mentioned the ice cream with France, which I could mention for every day the rest of my life. But I mean, I think ice cream in general, you take pictures of your ice cream, something in the background. It's just, I don't know, that just seems to be an iconic thing. Like, especially the Ample Hills. Have you been there since they opened?
Mm-mm.
That's really good. That's like life-changing good ice cream. It's expensive, but it's worth it.
Well, of course it is, because it's good. You know what I thought of that we didn't mention that we absolutely need to? Dole Whip. You have to get a photo with the Dole Whip sign in the background with you holding your Dole Whip.
Yep. And now you can go. At Disneyland, you always could go in the
tiki room.
So
waiting area
at Disney World. Yeah, you couldn't, but they changed that like I don't know a couple months ago. So now you can do that at Disney World also.
And you can get a Dole Whip in the waiting area for the tiki room at Disney World. Am I understanding?
I don't. No, you could take it inside.
Oh, you can take it into the tiki room with you.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You couldn't do that at Disney World?
Well, theirs isn't set up the same as Disneyland's is. Like, you can buy the Dole Whip in the waiting area at
true.
Disneyland. You can't do that at Disney World, I don't think, right? You have to buy it outside and go in.
It's a little bit of a walk.
Yeah.
No, it's right there. It's right next door.
It's right next door, but it's not like you're not already in the queue.
No, yeah.
No, the Sunshine Terrace is right next door where you can get your sunshine stuff. But
no, that's where the Dole Whip is now.
Oh, they moved it.
Yeah, that was a while ago, Steph.
Yeah, I haven't been for a year.
Even I knew that.
Yeah. Sorry, I did not stay up with the Dole Whip location.
If there's one thing to stay up with, it's the Dole Whip news.
Yeah.
Because when they changed that, they got rid of they had the vanilla and orange swirl.
Yeah.
So they don't have that anymore, and that's what I always used to get. But now I get Dole Whip all the time. I know. I mean, they still have, like the citrus swirl, but I liked the orange soft serve. But I get the Dole Whip all the time now. It's okay.
I like the citrus swirl, though, too. And I actually like citrus swirl better than I do the Dole Whip. Oh, the horror.
That's like one of those, like battles. Which do you like better?
Yeah.
What side are you on?
Yeah.
I don't like a citrus swirl. I don't know.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Disneyland doesn't give you choices. You get the Dole Whip or you get out. Like,
Yep, it's the truth.
But I like at Disneyland they give you the little umbrella,
Mhm.
so it's more photogenic.
Yeah, that's cute. That's
When I
cute.
got it this trip, they didn't put it in there, and I realized that the next day. I was like, "What's different from it?" I was like, "I didn't get an umbrella."
Funny. Funny. Okay, then I think we're good on this show, and we'll add another one later with more.
Yeah, there's a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, there is.
Those are just the basics.
Yeah, there you go. Those are our favorites. So, okay, remind everyone where they can find you, Heather.
My character site is heatherw.com/character, and on Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else, I'm heatherw25, and on Facebook, it's I Love Characters.
And Tanya.
You can find me at everymagicmoment.com and Tanya H666 on all social media.
Perfect. And you can find Capturing Magic at Capturing Magic _ on Instagram and Pinterest too, I think, where we have lots of ideas. And then also be sure to find me at modernphotosolutions.com. You can listen to the podcast over there and also the free Google Photos class. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We will see you next time on Capturing Magic.